What the juck is, everybody? Jenna here, back at it with another Ctene boss mule. Probably our last one for a little bit while I take a pause from upgrading them. Sure, I have the hero left, but today is the Demon Slayer. And this Demon Slayer is at level 264. This was made with the Goddess Pass back when Wild Hunter came out, and it's now up to snuff to clear Ctene. Alright, so let's look at what we're working with John T. So John T is at a staggering 106 mil CP, but don't let that fool you. It feels performative because this does not feel like a 106 mil combat character. I will tell you that much. As for the gear, we are looking at a pretty beefy amount of stat. I think this is one of my highest set of characters in the game at a 516%. And the texture investment is looking rather grim. Well, it's better than nothing. We have the masteries, which are the important part, and only one of the picture boosts. So we do have the ascent, we have the origin, but more importantly, there is no Oz ring. To make up for that, we do have a stat ring for a little bit of extra juice, but most of the excess damage we are getting here is from this RFS. The Demon Slayer got very lucky. In the end, I just had myself 65 Dawn Whisper crystals. It is what it is, but this is what we are working with. We are using a black card for this, so this is a temporary inflated range, but nevertheless, let's see how this actually performs in game. All right, bring it up. We've got the timer, we've got the run, and let's crank this up because yes, it is a long one. Between a raw and just how well I can pilot this class, these fights are... they're not quick. They are not quick. So Demon Slayer is a rather unique class, both in its ability to TP farm and its ability to boss. Mainly, it doesn't have your standard flash jump. Sure, you can still flash jump with it, but it's got a unique glide mechanic. And let me tell you, it is awkward to get used to. I'll tell you that. I'm certain after more reps of this class, it'll be a lot easier. And its movement, it is very odd. Its dash, main dash, can actually be cancelled, kind of like Blaster, which is kind of nice actually. And it has a 1 minute burst, and then like a 1 minute off burst due to its like fifth job skill. I think it's called Demon Awakening. Just like turbocharges your basic attack into a monstrous DPS machine. And then with its origin, it has like a gated or like a back-ended burst. I don't know, it's weird. It's a weird class. When it comes to bossing, that is. When it's farming, it's super easy, barely an inconvenience. And we're what? 3 minutes of this video, and I completely forgot to take down how long each fight took. So I'm just going to guess. But we are already past the, we're about to hit the second origin, and Vhilla is only at 45%, which is, yeah, not good. We want Vhilla to be basically dead during the second burst. There's still a long way to go. But hey, an Oz ring does go a long way. Yeah, the origin is a two-parter. The first one enters this realm, this domain expansion. You get like excess demon energy and you do some cool shit, and then after a little bit the hammer drops and shit goes sicko mode. But I only did about 20% damage in that burst, which is for being an origin, kind of wish it was a bit more impactful, but to be fair, I am still learning this class, so I don't know if I am actually doing everything right. But it's rather simple. You just sequence, make sure you have your like demon unbound skill. This one here, Endless Rage. It's this one here. This skill here enables you to not consume any fury, and I've had issues where this doesn't go off and I just can't burst. Now for the next minute, Demon Awakening's active, and you just hold down Q, or my basic attack, which is on Q. Then you switch to Demon Impact afterwards for the next minute, and then that's basically the rotation. You have Demon Bane, which is your hold down burst, which is an iframe. It's a little awkward to use because I haven't figured it out. Well, I honestly should look up the Discord to figure this out. But it's like, do I do baby buffs first and then hold that down and then activate Demon Awakening? Or do I just send it? probably it's better to hold off on Demon Awakening. I actually don't know if Demon Bane... Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm not sure if Demon Bane extends it. This is what I get for not doing my homework. So I'm leaving damage off the table, and that was, give or take, a 13-ish minute run. Hey, it was faster than Wild Hunter, but I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong on that class either. But yeah, we are learning. Again, the character isn't liberated yet. Doesn't have the full deck of utilities like the Osring, which is the big one right now. It does have the 10% boss damage from the Slime Ring and the Twilight Mark, and it does have that RFS, which I will say, the RFS, I am not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Sure, I am clearing, but it can make things awkward. Like, I'm very used to certain things doing certain bits of damage on, like, what, 10 characters. But when I jump on the DS and I do the same things I do in other classes, I end up just inting and dying and probably having to do multiple runs. I'm not sure if I do it here in this, but I did Gloom this week and I just ran it down. Like, it was ridiculous just how frequent I was dying on this class. It is surprisingly squishy, and you have to, you have to dodge everything pretty much. You can see here I'm getting a little loose with Darknell, and yeah, it is with RFS. It's a different ballgame. Attacks will hurt, and it was jarring when I first tried it. Thankfully, Demon Slayer does have some pretty low cooldown iframes and ways to get out of this. Not only can they have crazy air stall thanks to their up jump into their glide, they also have their TP farming ability, Chaos Lock, which just TPs them to the boss. So if you're just in a literal 1v1, Darknell it's a little difficult because he likes to spawn minions, but more or less you can just TP to the boss if you need more distance. And then of course you have two iframes. One's on like a 27-ish second cooldown, give or take, which can be reset with cooldown skip. And then you've also got a damage steroid, Dark Metamorphosis, this one here. And then the buff itself lasts for like 10 years, and then every 2 minutes, I think, you can just get a cheeky iframe out of it. And then, of course, your burst, Demon Bane, is a 6-second iframe, which is nice during your burst. However, it does make it awkward where, like, that was like a 10, I want to say 11-minute Darknell fight. Look, the times will be in the description. The full times will be in the description. I won't bother trying to count this stuff. What was I saying? But yeah, Demon Bane, 6-second iframe. And you're getting to an awkward spot where I don't really want to bind during Demon Bane. At the same time, I don't want the boss to disappear, so I may have to bind Demon Bane. Regardless, Hecate is going to go really well on DS, as you want boss bound as long as possible. Yeah, they're in a weird case where they do have burst, they also have decent DPM, mainly because of Demon Awakening lasting so long. Now, I think I flop Gloom. I'm pretty sure if I do it right, I can open Gloom, but this run could be significantly faster. Just goes to show you the power of actually playing the class right. A Demon Slayer is also unique where you can increase your drop rate beyond the natural limit thanks to Demon Cray, which is rather cool. And that's about it. I've wrapped up the entirety of the class. As far as I know, that's the entire class. And do I like it? That's the big question. Because I originally made Demon Slayer, well, I felt pressured to. Nexon got me good with that first Goddess Pass. I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to remake my Wild Hunter because it has gear that I got rid of. Honestly. And so I was thinking, what do I do? What do I do? And I saw the back pet, and then I saw that I could probably put this on another resistance class, but which one do I make? Well, I kind of like Demon Slayer, I've always have, but its link skills are bad. But then I bit the bullet, made the Demon Slayer with the Goddess Pass, and my god, did it take forever. And I thought it'd be fine, I can TP farm using the buff duration and relentless attack method, and the boundless rage method, and yeah, it took me the entire patch to get this thing to like 260. So definitely gone through a lot of, out of all my Ctene boss mods at the moment, I've probably played the Demon Slayer the most, having to manually train it all the way up to its basically to 260. After 260, it's been pretty chill. But it is a good class to stick around on with TP farming. Like it does have that boon. Like you don't need vac pets. You just need 3 pets. They loot everything for you. And it's super easy. You have 2 methods to TP farm. I'm just choosing to do the boundless rage. What? Endless rage? Boundless rage? Because I already have it set up. It's what you do pre 6th job. Pre-dusk, I should say. It's pretty free. It's pretty good. I confirmed what everyone was complaining about or talking about Demon Slayer. Its farming is out of this world. Its bossing is unique. I do like the tech in Gloom where you can you save Demon Bane for Gloom's laser. Kind of nice to get some cheeky DPS out of that way. And then you can also, because your flight gives you, basically gives you super stance, so you can just hover and prevent Gloom from hitting you, which is always a great thing. What other tech did I find out about this class? That's really it. Yeah, its flight is a little awkward. Well, its up jump, I say, is probably the most awkward thing about the kit, because you have to double tap the up key, which for whatever reason does not feel intuitive. Like if it was on a separate key, like for Blaster, I hold the up key, then I press, I did the D key for detonate, I go up. So it's like, I know that. Like basically any class that I do, you're holding up. I think that's what it is. Every other class, I hold up and then I jump, or I press another key, and it's nice, it flows. But for DS, you have to double tap up, which is just, it feels so weird. Another awkward thing, I guess, for Gloom is that with your Origin, you can't really delay it. Like, ideally, you want to delay it so you can bind it through the first laser. But then you don't get the hammer drop when it opens. Maybe it won't be an issue if you can, like, get it below 70% on its, like, first open. But hey, it is what it is. Alright, so that was, like, I know I was going to stop this. Wait, I'm pretty sure I did Gloom twice, because that was that's 17 minutes. I think I did Gloom twice. I completely was so enraptured in talking about Demon Slayer that I forgot that, yeah, I did Gloom twice. That's the folly of this class, because Gloom's legs get a little, it's a skill issue. That's what it's called. And a 10-minute boss takes 17 minutes. That will inflate the time. I'll throw down both times of Gloom in the description, just so you get an idea of how long each one took and how much time I lost for dying out. But hey, it's all part of the experience. Like, you're not going to be like one-tapping these bosses, especially before they're finished, before that Destiny lib, what am I saying? Before that Genesis lib, where? Excuse me while I talk about something completely irrelevant to my level of progress into this game. But yeah, these are all like the growing pains of building up a new character, getting used to their mechanics, trying to pilot a new class, learning their intricacies. I'm not even going to try that word again. And trying to optimize their run each week. And like, this is probably the slowest it's ever going to be, as I just get better each week. And then of course, once rentals come back, when rental comes back, I am going on a field trip with these bosses. It's going to be so much better. And oh my god, that was tragic. It was tragic, but I don't know how it worked out. But I managed to die in test, but still get a phase 3. Hey, I take those. But yes, looking forward to renting some Aurora. And I will say, using the iframe for was it White? When he does his regular move away from his one shot. Very nice to be able to just press iframe. It feels a lot more intuitive than having to time it with your dash or a double tap flash jump, which I don't think your glide's fast enough to actually dodge out of it, but don't quote me on that. Yes, at least with all these for the Demon Slayers, I probably only will need to buy the Royal 4, and that'll be a significant increase in clear speed. I'm looking forward to that. It should get easily under an hour. And eventually we'll have Hecate, which just streamlines a lot of the entire process. A bit of extra damage, more time with the boss bound. I will say Lucid's probably one of the most annoying bosses to do, because you can't really Demon Bane Lucid phase 3. unless it's bound, and then when it's bound, you can't really do anything else because you have like 4 seconds left, and Demon Awakening lasts the full minute. And I just turbo went because you're extremely fragile as a Demon Slayer. I mean, you do get some DR in the class, which is quite nice, but a lot of it is not really... What's the word? It doesn't really matter. I mean, you take 25% damage from all sources thanks to that RFS. Look, the things you do for damage. But yeah, with the glide at least, you can easily get out of lasers. Lasers is pretty easy to get out of. As for animations, I'm looking forward to the change when skills go behind the boss so I can actually use them. Demon Slayer does have some pretty sick animations. And I can talk about its new 6-drop skill as well, since that got revealed in KMS. Looks really cool, where you whip out your hammer or your mace and rip in reality to bring out a monster that goes sicko mode. That should be very cool. I think it's more of a burst skill, I think. ES needs more burst. I actually don't know their split, but I die in burst, and I still manage to phase it, but I do have a sense. And because of the extended burst that I guess Demons have, or Demon Slayer has, you can easily punch it through phase 3 Lucid, so it's not too bad. Like leaving a sense and like residual burst to deal with it. Nearly an hour in, well, basically on the dot, an hour in, as we get through the last remaining section. Slime is probably the boss that I had to like walk in for unexpectedly, just because such random things can kill you in this due to taking 25% more damage. Suddenly, I think his laser gets me the most because of just like, holy shit, it does this much damage. So I'll just blink sometimes when he does laser and I'm like, I died to that? What? I never died to that. And I remember, that's right. I have an RFS. Oh. I do save the origin for when it's in its rocky state, but honestly it doesn't matter because he wakes up before the hammer drops, which a little annoying. I think you do need a... Look, I'm gonna bring it up right now. I do think you need a raw 5, I think. I think I just showed the game. Alright, I'm gonna quickly do this. Pretty sure the game. Alright, origin. Where is it? Nightmare. Is it after 20 seconds? It is after 20 seconds the big hammer drops. So definitely a raw 5 class. But still decent as a boss mill, I will say. Not as simple and straightforward as you expect from like other warriors. If I want to, like, I guess if I want to place this on my boss mill tier list. Ooh, where would I place it? Out of the warriors, it's 100% below Dawn Warrior. 100% below Hider, 100% below Blaster. Don't tell me Demon Slayer is my lowest rated mule. I think I like Demon Slayer a little bit more. Oh, do I like it a little bit more than Lyn? It's tough to say. I will say because of how awkward it is my most awkward boss mill. Just a pilot, because it just plays so much more differently. It is the only class that has a different style of like movement, and the movement isn't intuitive. Like when I like switch to a mage, the only mage I'm playing right now is Kana, and like Lyn has a flash jump. And, like I'm used to the flash jumps when it's normal. That's responsive, but not like, acts like normal. Same with the up jump, acts responsively like normal, and then Kana is so intuitive with its TP that it basically acts like a second jump, really. Do I regret making Demon Slayer? No, I don't. No, I do really enjoy the concept and its animations. Give it some time, and this class should feel a lot better to pilot. As these bosses are just giving me absolutely nothing. It's ridiculous. Now we have a mirror matchup. Demon versus Demon. One thing I really need to fix is I'm still using the class bind, which is unreliable, and I need to switch to Erdonova as soon as possible and always use its bind as a backup. And with this spec, I just try and burst through it with a sense to try and get it to phase 2 as soon as possible, because the burst is already up and I don't want to waste it for 10%. We chip through. I'll be curious how this class will further develop, and if it will impress me once it gets a roar, once it liberates. The power spike should be nice. Because look, all classes feel a lot better when they do a lot of damage. When you have to thug it out and do min clears, quote unquote. And that's right, that's a second RFS. 2 weeks in a row. I was completely stunned. I could not believe Damien. I get the first one right before the announcement, and I get the next one after the announcement, and I don't even need it. So this warrior, well, this Demon Slayer continues to be as seeded as all my other warriors. I don't know what it is with warriors and my luck, but the Demon Slayer continues to eat. But yes. Looking forward to the future of seeing this Demon Slayer prog. It's definitely going to have probably the highest CP out of all of these Ctene mules. Right now there's what, 6? I'm working on the hero right now, so that's number 6. And then eventually the kinesis will be number 7. And out of all of them, I think the Demon Slayer will have the most, just mainly because of that 10% extra fire damage it gets from the RFS. And right now it's a little skewed because it is using a fourth 21-star ring with fake tree line, which is why it has such inflated CP. No badge though, because this was created this year. But we are now with baby bosses, so we can just nuke through these at 8x speed. Vroom. But yeah, I do think Demon Slayer gets a lot of their bossing is not looked at properly, and it's usually just, oh, they TP farm, easy farming class, very, very brain dead, super OP. I do think their bossing is, it takes time to get used to. They don't have a lot of, what is it? Negative horizontal range. You can't be above a boss. Say slime, oh, hang on, I went way too quick. Say for slime, for example, can I do a quick scrap here? Okay, if you're here and you Demon Bane and Slime's down here, yeah, your Demon Bane is not hitting the boss whatsoever. You have to be either same level or the boss, or slightly below the boss to have Demon Bane hit, which is a little annoying. I think it's Demon Awakening's kind of the same as well. It has low, negative horizontal range. No, negative vertical range. There we go. Got it at the end. That was one thing that I get used to pretty early on with the boss. But that about wraps it up as we quickly go through inventory and time it. So yes, that was an hour and 27 minutes on a pretty juiced Demon Slayer, but that is with one mistake, so you can probably knock off about 10 minutes off that from the failed Gloom attempt. If we go back to sheet, see its specs once again, little inflated because it is running a 21-star KT, 24% ring, and it is also running a black heart, which I think that both of these are abnormal. This should be at best a fairy heart or maybe even a plasma heart, but it's all about giving that little extra kick so it can hit the ground running and get through these bosses just a little quicker. Without the black heart, this would take in 10 minutes longer maybe. Yeah, that about does it for the showcase for the Demon Slayer. As always, thank you all for watching, and have a juck and good day. Catch you all in the next one.